What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Karax, and today we are going to do our first little overview and stuff that I'm doing in Pokemon Champions. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I hope you are too. I don't really have a lot of complaints because I'm not a let's complain about everything person. Anyways, we are going to move on to what this video is about. It is a rain team, question mark. It's using the ugliest Mega Starmie, and we're going to go over what exactly each Mon is doing. So we got our Politoed Kermit. It's got Earth Power, Icy Wind, Weather Ball, and Protect. Protect is just general VGC stuff. Icy Wind for speed control, and then Earth Power for coverage. I'm using Politoed over the Wingull evolution. What's it called? I don't know. The Pelipper. That's what it's called. Because I like it better. I have it using a speed decreasing nature just because in situations where there are multiple weathers, we have to have some sort of speed control, and we need our weather to go up second. So our Politoed has to be slower than the opposing Pokemon. I like Politoed better than Pelipper because it looks better, and it's not ugly like Pelipper. Speaking of ugly, we are going to move over to our Mega of the team. It's Mega Starmie. Now, Mega Starmie, while it looks ugly as sin and is just one of the worst looking Megas I've ever seen in my life, it has a really cool ability and huge power. It has a base 100 attack stat, so that essentially makes it a base 200 behemoth. We're running Aqua Jet in case something is outspeeding us, Psycho Cut for stab, Waterfall for stab, and then Protect for VGC things. We're going to move on to our King Gambit. It is holding a Choppleberry. I don't know if it shows it on this, but that's, it's 4 times weak to fighting. That stops its 4 times weakness. It's got King Gambit-y stuff with Defiant. And we're running Defiant as opposed to the other good ability that it has because their Incineroar is running around like a madman. And just Defiant helps us mitigate that a little bit. Those are its attacks. Just, kind of coverage and Swords Dance in case I can get it off. We got Lucario for more of a special attacker. It's got Vacuum Wave in priority, and then Dark Pulse for coverage, Flash Cannon for stab, and Aura Sphere for stab. We're running Inner Focus. I don't know what its other ability is, but this one stops you from being flinched, so there's that. With, again, Incineroar running around with Fake Out, you need to be able to dodge that kind of stuff. I don't remember the item that, I believe it's Choice Scarf, just to make sure you do outspeed. I don't know. I might replace the Vacuum Wave for another coverage move because I'm Scarfed already, and there's not really a point in, running priority, but it's there. Just in case if I get knocked off or something, I'll probably change that attack in the future. You are probably going to see a theme. I have 3 steel Pokemon on this team. I'm not really worried about the fire weakness because I'm also running Rain and Politoed. So it's not like I'm going to bring all 3 of my steel types in one run. Moving on, we got the Bellies. Bellibolt is one of my favorite Pokemon in Gen 9. I love it. He looks awesome. He's the best. I'm running Weather Ball for big water damages, or any other, like say you're going against a Tyranitar with Sandstream and then they have an Incineroar out, you can Weather Ball the Incineroar for a rock type attack. It's really cool. It's got a lot of really good usage. Hyper Voice to hit both, Thunderbolt for stab, Muddy Water for accuracy control. I'm running Modest because it's slow anyways, so why are you going to invest in speed? Obviously, you can see the stat pool there. I have an odd number HP because that tends to be a little bit better, and it looks like I'm missing 1 stat point on this, so I'll probably fix that in the future as well. I've already done some battles with this that are recorded, so the changes are not going to be there for the battles, but I'll probably make that change as well. He is Leftovers because he's bulky, and yeah, good mon, love him. Then I have Corviknight, Mirror Armor, again, for the Incineroars or any other Intimidators like Gyarados that are out there. I'm running more of a support set because I didn't really have a really dedicated support mod. I know I have Politoed and other things for speed control, but this is like making my stuff a little bit more bulky. And this mon does come in in both the battles I'm going to show you. So he does pretty good. I'm pretty excited about what happened with him. It looks like my capture stopped. Give me a second. All right, so here we are again, back at this. I apologize. I've bought so many different capture cards, and they, for whatever reason, I probably just need to update Windows. But anyways, it's got light screen, reflect, tailwind, and iron head. Also the mirror armor, and this is just your basic, support Corviknight. It also has not the mirror herb, the other one, the mental herb, in case you get faked out, encored, any of those such things. So you can make sure you still get your tailwind up, you still get your reflect up, and then they waste their fake out on this mon. That does come into effect in one of the battles, but I thought it was a really good item usage. So anyways, that's the team. We're going to head into the battles. These battles are already pre-recorded. I did not talk through them while they were recording because I was just testing my capture cards. So y'all are going to have to do with a post-talking thing, but that's fine. It should be good. Anyways, this is the team, and I hope y'all enjoy. Alright guys, this is gonna be battle 1. It looks like we have some sort of sand team with Armarouge and Tyranitar. Why would Armarouge? With Gliscor, Corviknight, Tyranitar. I haven't really seen this type of a team before, so I'm just kind of going with Corviknight for the support. I do take Politoed and Starmie. I don't remember what the fourth was. Probably Bellybolt because I'm obsessed with them. I literally, fun fact, I bought my partner a Bellybolt pillow just because I love Bellybolt. It looks like it's a King Gambit, which is a pretty good mon. I only got to really worry about the Armarouge with its fire attacks. Other than that, King Gambit does pretty good. I'm only in Great Ball rank. I do apologize. I haven't been able to spend a lot of time on this as I would like to, but it is what it is. We are going to move forward. Of course, my whole team is shiny. I hope y'all understand that, shininess is a need. I will not play him on if it's not shiny. And y'all did see Politoad's speed tier come into effect right there. Obviously, Gliscor and Tyranitar are both physical attackers. So I made sure my Politoed, I used Reflect because of the physical attackers. I used Weather Ball on Politoed because I forgot that Tyranitar had a Mega Sandstream, so now my Weather Ball is not going to be super effective against the Tyranitar, but that's just, a mistake with me. He protects anyway, not a big deal. So Gliscor is going to get the Tailwind up for speed control. And I believe I put up the Reflect. Yeah, the Reflect in this turn. So really all we got to do, this looks like it's going to be more of a war of attrition instead of a war of bombastic attacking, which is what VGC normally is. So I'm going to go for the Iron Head against the Tyranitar because it's super effective. And then I'm going to go for the Icy Wind 1 because it's it's quad effective against Gliscor. And I want to get some sort of speed control because they got the Tailwind up. I am noticing that people are taking their time with this game mode. I wish that the turn timer was shorter, but it is what it is. People got to think, not everyone understands everything that's going on. So the EQ goes off, misses both the Corviknights, and only hits my Politoed. Doesn't do a lot of damage because I have that Reflect up. Iron Head's not going to do much against the other Corviknight. Not a big deal. We're not really worried about the Corviknight. I mean, that's not really going to be able to do much. Their mirror armor slowing down my Politoed, but we are slowing down their Gliscor. Get hit by the sandstorms. Yeah, Politoed's the only one on the field getting hit by that sandstorm because we're going to put up our own Tailwind so we can get some sort of speed control, and I believe we switch out into Starmie this turn. Just because, Starmie is a huge thing, and then what we're gonna do is next turn we're gonna flip back. We're gonna flip the Corviknight into Politoed so we can try and get our rain back up. We are trying our best to get the rain back up. Obviously, you know, Starmie hits really hard under the rain and is real fast. So we got our Starmie out. Corviknight's going to use Body Press, not going to do much. Again, we have the Reflect up, so it does not matter. We got our Tailwind up, so now we know we're going to outspeed everything on the field. Starmie is faster, and their thing petered out anyways. So I either put up the light screen. Oh, I do. I might. And I'm thinking about putting up the light screen, or I might switch back into Polytoad. That is what I did. And we're just going to waterfall the Armor Rouge. Now, if he switches something out and brings the Tyranitar back out, we know Polytoad is slower, so regardless if that happens, we're getting the rain up. So it doesn't even matter because their Tyranitar does outspeed our Polytoad. We know we're getting the rain up, and we know that Armor Rouge is going to be a pain in the butt, so we're going to make sure we just knock that out real quick. So we get our rain back up, the armor, and we're going to Mega Evolve. Why is that so ugly? God, I hate what it looks like. It's so ugly. Alright, we're going to Waterfall. Going to one-shot the Armor Rouge. There's not a lot that can take that under rain, to be honest. Like, it's going to have to be a bulky build. Corv is going to U-turn. We still have the Reflect up, so that's not a big deal. So he's more than likely going to go back to Tyranitar, but Starmie did what it needed to do against the Armor Rouge with the rain. Goes back into Tyranitar, gets the Sandstorm up, and what's pretty cool is that was mid-term, so I still get buffeted by the Sandstorm. No big deal. And their Tailwind peters out. Waiting. So they bring the Gliscor back out. So we know he's probably going to Tailwind again just to get his Tailwind back up. So we're going to immediately start just, attacking stuff. Because there's not really a point for me going back into Corviknight right now. We know he's going to waste the turn. We know we're faster. So Tyranitar does protect. That obviously gets blocked. And then the Gliscor, we know is going to use Tailwind. So we are both going to have Tailwind up. I'm using that for speed control. Not a big deal because we both have Tailwind up and Starmie is pretty fast either way. So we're both just trying to, maneuver our pieces into an advantage. Fortunately for them, I have type advantage. So I'm just going to keep Icy Wind. I'm just going to spam Icy Wind because it's going to slow them down, and I don't really see the point in trying to get the rain back up right now because I just want to put on pressure because I only have a few more turns of Tailwind. I need to put on pressure or the game's going to end while he has his Tailwind and I do not have mine. I don't want to run that risk. So we one-shot their Tyranitar with Starmie because it's broken. That huge power, man. That does a lot of damage. And we're going to Icy Wind again. I don't remember if this KOs. It does. That 4 times effectiveness under one target is great. I know they get the special defense buff with the sand, but it got them. So our Tailwind peters out, and then they end up forfeiting. So that was the first battle, and we won. It was a lot of fun, and we're gonna head into the second battle. All right, now we are in game 2. Immediately I noticed the Incineroar and the Whimsicott, two pretty powerful mons that are pretty prevalent through the meta. I am noticing the Heracross as well, or the Blastoise for their potential megas. They have a Politoad. I have a Politoad. We both have Politoads. It's Team Toad. Anyways, they have 2 fire types, which are, both of us having rain teams, so that makes the fire types a little bit odd. We're going to bring the Bellies because of the prevalence of water on their team. We're also going to bring Corviknight to counterbalance the Incineroar. Then we're going to bring our rain duo, the Starmie with the Politoad. I am seeing his Politoad. I don't want to risk an event where we both don't bring Politoad, and then now all of a sudden I don't have my rain support. Getting that range support on Starmie's waterfalls is essential. I have not calced it. I mean, it might one-shot stuff anyways, but I still like to have it. They are thinking a lot. People take so much time on these. Like, just do your knee-jerk reaction. That's usually your best decision anyways. So we're getting into the battle here. They lead off with Whimsicott Blastoise, so I'm immediately thinking Megastoise with its like Cell Smash, whatever. I'm like very scared of this Blastoise. I know Blastoise is a special attacker, so I'm gonna, I believe, Tailwind first, and then I'm gonna Light Screen turn 2. I know they're not gonna do a lot of damage with their Blastoise. I'm not really worried about it, so I'm immediately wanting to start doing speed control because I know we're going to have multiple Tailwinds. And uh-oh, what? So that's definitely a Water Spout, doing lots of damages. I'm going to get my Tailwind up. Blastoise is pretty slow, so I know I'm going to outspeed next turn. And with the Icy Wind, I know I'm going to outspeed the Whimsicott as well. So that was a big surprise. I have not seen Water Spout in this. They have the Rain Dish. Not a big deal. We have the Belly Bolt still, so now I need to make sure we get the Light Screen up. Whimsicott generally is not really something I'm scared of, but that Blastoise now has my attention because it's going to do a lot of damage. They encore my Corviknight, but we have a thing called Mental Herb, so we're not worried about it. We get our Light Screen up anyways. It's, I think that was a really good item usage right there. Picking the Mental Herb, they wanted to avoid their Blastoise from taking damage. And now we're in just very scary territory, because the Blastoise might be equal speed, like it's net 0, because Shell Smash did +2. I've done 2 Icy Winds, so it's at -2, so they equal out to 0. But that is a very scary target. So we're just going to decide to Iron Head the Whimsicott, and I'm just going to continue Icy Winding to slow them down. And something very unexpected happens. We get a Special D drop on Kermit, and it seems like we were in a speed tie for our Corviknight and the Blastoise. Unfortunately, we lost that speed tie. Now, something y'all will realize is I'm a very unlucky person, so hacks tend to go not in my favor. We're immediately down 4-2, and I'm very worried about this matchup. I know that Blastoise is net 0, and this is all I got. I got my Bellies, and I got my Starmie. We're going to Mega Evolve, and I'm going to Psycho Cut the Blastoise. They're at -2 defense, and I know the Starmie is going to outspeed. And then we're going to Hyper Voice just to hit both targets. That's the only thing that Whimsicott took neutral damage to. This Blastoise is a menace. So I just need to get rid of it. I didn't take it seriously, and that's what I get, So they are thinking their turn out, it looks like. I really do enjoy the graphics in this game. I think they're better than Scarlet and Violet, personally. They send out a Volcarona under the rain. Immediately that gets my attention because it's a bug type. Starmie's part psychic type. That's not really the best thing. But, we do outspeed, and Volcarona's not bulky at all. It is what it is. We know the Volcarona's not going to be able to take a lot from us. So the Blastoise goes down. It was at -2 defense. We have huge power. And we smack the Volcarona with a Hyper Voice. Their Tailwind peters out. Our Tailwind peters out. And I'm thinking about what's going to come in next. I'm not quite sure. We know we need to take out the Volcarona because it has super effective damage. I don't think that Whimsicott actually runs, anything grass-related. So I Aqua Jet the Volcarona, assuming they're gonna they're gonna get their tailwind back up. And then I hyper voice again just for damages in general, and they protect with their Volcarona, and I'm like, goodness gracious. I am, I might be making some mistakes, but I still think I'm playing pretty well, being, still being down 2 to 3. They protect, and then the hyper voice comes out. They protect, obviously, and then we're going to do some damages to the Whimsicott. Gets it down to 3, and I'm like, well, was that a low roll or what? I mean, these Pokemon things, man. So we're gonna Aqua Jet the Volcarona again. We have to take it down. There's nothing we can do if that Volcarona stays up and Bug Buzzes our Starmie, because I don't think we survive one. We might. I mean, Starmie's pretty bulky, but I'm very scared of the Volcarona. I don't want to take a lot of damage on my Starmie. So I Aqua Jet again, and then I Hyper Voice again. So we should theoretically get a double KO this turn, provided nothing really silly happens. They're thinking about their turn. They don't want to play wrong. I get it. It's just I'm an impatient person, so when people take forever, it's annoying. We Aqua Jet. We don't knock out the Volcarona. That's unfortunate. Oh, and then guess what? Flame Body. Because hacks are fun. This is fun. Anyways, so that halves our gargantuan attack stat. And then they get a crit. What is going on? 2 hacks in 1 turn. And then they struggle bug to lower special attack. That is, probably as terrible of a turn hacks wise that could have happened. We do manage to pick up the double KO even with the special attack drop. And I don't know what they have left. I don't know if it's Incineroar. That would be pretty terrible, because Starmie is burned. I don't know what they have, and I'm kind of scared because they do have Tailwind up. So they throw out Heracross. Heracross is a bug type, so it's super effective against Starmie, but I'm also super effective against it because it has fighting type, and I thought about protecting just to kind of see what they were going to do, and then I decided to Psycho Cut. I'm just going to Thunderbolt because, we got to do the max amount of damage possible. So they Mega Evolve, and reminder, I'm very scared at this point. Mega Heracross is a pretty high attack stat. They pin missile, I'm like, oh goodness, and they miss. Some hacks go in my favor this time. So obviously that wasn't a lot of damage because of the burn, and I believe the Thunderbolt takes it out. Yeah, the Thunderbolt takes it out. So, and a crit. So we had 2 hacks against us in 1 turn, and then 2 hacks for us in a turn. That's just how Pokemon crumbles sometimes. So that's how the second game went. This is my team that I'm doing decently with. I have a few other teams that I'm going to post on the channel here in a little bit. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.